Hi guys, what is going on and welcome to today's YouTube video. In today's video we are going to take a look at a potential long position that I'm currently looking at on the Bitcoin price. We're going to see where we are interested in a long, what our potential targets are, and what our confluence is behind the potential long trade idea. There's lots to discuss on Bitcoin, because ever since we saw this huge pump towards the upside, we have seen pretty slow and choppy price action. And to me, this is a clear signal that the impulse towards the upside hasn't finished yet. So in my eyes, the impulse is looking 1, 2, 3. Currently, we are within our fourth wave before getting that fifth and final impulse towards the upside. The target in my eyes is very clear. Until we take out either one of these highs, and preferably both of the highs, until we have cleared this buy side liquidity, I remain bullish on Bitcoin. I've been bullish all the way when we were forming this falling wedge over here. I was telling you guys we were getting that final impulse towards the upside, and currently we are within that fifth wave towards the upside on the higher time frames. On the lower time frames, we can see that we are in a clear impulse as well, in which personally I'm expecting one last drop towards the downside before we are getting the fifth wave towards the upside. So I'm expecting us to take out the low over here. So only when we take out this sell side towards the downside, I will be interested in some swing longs towards our buy side liquidity targets. And there's definitely some nice confluences lining up below this sell side liquidity to enter a potential swing long. Now, if we are going to take our Fibonacci retracement tool from the end of wave 2 towards the end of wave 3, we can see that our 0.382, which is the most common target for our fourth wave, is aligning below our sell side liquidity, which is the first very nice confluence. If I'm going on the lower time frame, and if I'm going to check out the 1 hourly time frame, I want to take the fixed range volume profile of Wednesday. So I'm starting at Wednesday at noon all the way towards Wednesday midnight. And what can we see? We can see that we have an untested point of control, a naked point of control aligning with our 0.382 Fibonacci level of retracement, also aligning below our sell side liquidity. Okay, we have seen one sweep of this sell side so far. If we would get another sweep of this low over here, that would create a potential 3 drive pattern. 1, 2, 3 drives into the support before getting an impulse towards the upside, which is a very common reversal pattern. That is definitely something I'm currently watching on the Bitcoin price. Now, if we are going to zoom in a little bit, we can also see, and we remove the fixed range volume profile, that this was the area where Bitcoin was finding its first proper hiccup on this entire impulse towards the upside. So that means there's definitely some price action going on around that area, and there was definitely some exchanges of orders. If we are going to take a look in the past, we can also see that around the exact same area is where we have this previous supply area as well. And we know the previous supply, if it does not get respected as resistance, if we do not see a pullback from that area, it turns into demand. And that means that we do also have a beautiful breaker block around the exact same area where we have the 0.382 and where we also have that naked untested point of control. So we have this beautiful breaker block. We can even extend it a little bit like this, and that is a very nice and very strong confluence. So if we are looking at the current structure, this is something that I'm currently expecting. Okay, this will be the area where I will be looking for swing longs on Bitcoin. This is definitely a critical area of support, and if we are going to fall below this area, I think there's definitely a decent possibility that we will take out this low and also this low. If we want to keep the strength and if we want to keep the momentum towards the upside, in my opinion, we really need to hold on to this critical area of support. Also, if we are going to switch on the EMAs, we can see that the 200 EMA on the 4 hourly time frame, which is probably one of the most important EMAs out there, is slowly lining up with our area of interest. So within maybe a day or so, this 200 EMA on the 4 hourly time frame will also be perfectly aligning with our area of interest. Also, the 200 moving average is slowly aligning with our area of interest, which is very nice confluence, because it will be the first time after starting the impulse, after also testing the 200 EMA, that we are going to retest the 200 EMA. And usually when we retest it for the first time, we get a pretty strong bounce from it. So definitely something to keep an eye on as well. If we then are going to take a look at the lower time frames, we can see that we are definitely forming a corrective structure because we are constantly seeing these A, B, C corrections taking place on the Bitcoin price. A, B, C, afterwards followed by another A, B, C, and currently we are potentially within another A, B, C before getting that final correctional structure towards the upside. And that is definitely something that I'm watching on the Bitcoin price. And if we do get it, it would be lining up very, very nicely with our area of interest. If we're going to take the trend-based FIB extension from the high to the low, back to the current local lower high that we are forming, we can see that our most common target box, which is in between the 1-to-1 and the 1.236 Fibonacci extension levels, is perfectly aligning once again with our area of interest. So definitely something to keep an eye on as well. So what do I exactly expect on the lower time frames? If I'm just quickly going to remove all of my drawings, I kind of expect us to not break through this supply area over here. Okay, so we have pretty strong supply, and I think after sweeping the highs over here and tapping into this supply over here, I kind of expect this bearish order flow to continue for now. So maybe we get a sweep of these highs over here into the supply, and afterwards I kind of expect us to get another push to the downside to take out that sell-side liquidity and to tap into our area of interest for potential long positions on Bitcoin. If we do get it, I think it's a very nice opportunity to look for swing longs, targeting that buy-side liquidity around $32,000. And that is definitely my main target for Bitcoin, to take out above these highs is where massive amounts of liquidity is. And that is also the area over here where the market makers might start some distribution on the Bitcoin price. And if they do, I will start selling my spot bags. I will start looking for swing shorts on the Bitcoin price. I've been bullish all the way starting at the beginning of the year over here, right? And I will remain bullish until we've taken out the range highs over here. If you want to know how I predicted this, how I did my analysis for this impulse, and this impulse towards the upside, definitely make sure to check out one of my high time frame update videos on Bitcoin. They can definitely be found on my YouTube channel, in which I predicted all of this to happen. But if we start to distribute within this area over here, I will start looking for swing shorts and I will start selling my spot bags. We'll be buying back around this CME gap over here, and that will be the ideal scenario for the Bitcoin price. Okay, but now still expecting that final impulse, still expecting some more correction before getting that final impulse. We might already reject from here, as this is also where we have this previous support that was now turning into resistance. So we might reject it from here, or we sweep the highs one more time within the supply and then reject. But this sell-side liquidity, it's a massive wick as well. And we know that these massive wicks are a big draw on liquidity because we have a lot of unfilled orders over here and a lot of unfilled orders and stop losses below the wick over here. So big draw on liquidity, in my opinion, on the Bitcoin price. Let's see what we get, but an early week pullback would be beautiful before we start looking for swing longs targeting new highs for the upcoming week. If you guys do have any questions after watching this YouTube video, please let me know in the comments down below, and I will make sure to answer all of the questions for you guys. Also make sure to join our free Discord. Link can be found in the description. We are absolutely smashing it these days. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll speak to you guys on Wednesday's video. Ciao, ciao!